Hi, I'm Sherry Allen.
Teresa Doyle.
We know each other. We work right next door to each other. I teach fourth grade, and this is my mentor, who I'm so happy to have as a mentor because she has 27 years of teaching experience. So I'm very fortunate that I have a mentor that has so much experience, and that's really what I need. And Miss Doyle teaches third grade.
Yep.
And so we are here to discuss what we plan on doing next week. From what I understand, I have to create lesson plans next week, 3 lesson plans. And the following week I will be actually teaching those lesson plans. And Miss Doyle will be giving me feedback on some helpful hints and criticism of my teaching, so that I can improve my teaching and become a better teacher, which is, to me, the ultimate goal of all of this.
Yep.
And so, did you want to say anything?
Like I have been teaching for a while, and it's always nice to see new teachers coming on board, and with all the enthusiasm like Sherry shows. All right.
And so, what I'm going to be doing is making some math lesson plans, and I'm using the Go Math curriculum. And what I plan on doing is covering the core standard that I'll be using is to use place value understanding and properties of operations to perform multi-digit arithmetic. And the substandard says to multiply a whole number of up to 4 digits by a 1-digit whole number and multiply 2-digit numbers using strategies based on place value and the properties of operations. And so the vocabulary that they'll be learning is distributive property and partial product. And so I'm going to be developing lesson plans that incorporate that standard. And the lesson objective would be to use the distributive property to multiply a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number.
So what have you done so far to ensure that they are ready for this lesson?
So we have covered the first couple of weeks of school. We've discussed place value, and we've also discussed estimating and rounding. And so at the beginning of the week, we will be covering other lessons leading up to this one that involve the same standard, just a different take on it, I guess you could say. And so that should prepare them for this lesson.
So how are you going to approach this lesson? What are the kids going to be doing?
That I haven't determined yet because I haven't done the lesson plan yet.
Okay.
So
like, are you going to have them use like whiteboards?
Oh, yes, we have used a lot of whiteboards this week. We do a lot of problems on the board, on the big whiteboard. We've done assessments, and my policy with math is that if they don't pass the test the first time with the 70% or higher, they are retaught the lesson and then they retake it in hopes that they will pass this time with the 70% or higher. And so the other thing that we've used this week is the base 10 blocks, and those basically have been what we've done up to this point.
So you've reviewed place value.
Yes.
Like the base 10 blocks and things like that.
Yes, and I think that they have gotten place value really pretty well. They seem to have caught on to estimating pretty well, but they're not like 100% there yet. Today we went over, normally on Fridays I would give them a test, but today I actually just went over what was going to be on their test to make sure that they understood everything. And then on Monday they'll be taking the test for chapter 1. So hopefully they'll do well on that, and I'll be able to look at that and see who still needs help and who's ready to proceed with chapter 2.
Okay. And how do you introduce vocabulary in your lesson?
How do I introduce vocabulary? I normally have them write in their journals the vocabulary words and write the definitions down to begin with. And then I try to give them examples and
So they have a math journal of previous lessons that they can refer back to.
yes, they do.
Mhm.
They have a math journal that they do everything in. When we do work in class, they put their work in their journal. They put their vocabulary in their journal, and their math test gets stapled into their journal, so they have a complete record of what we've done in their journals.
Right. Now, you'll probably have at least a few kids who pick this up very quickly, even early on in your lesson. What are you going to, do you have an idea yet how you're going to accommodate them?
Well, fortunately, with this Go Math curriculum, they do have strategy for the kids that are more advanced. They have an enrichment strategy with ideas on what to present to them. And I haven't used small groups yet with math, but it's something that I might want to consider, using a small group so that I can have the group that is more advanced, and then have the learners that aren't as advanced in a separate group. Is that what you would suggest?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward very much to working with you and learning from you, since you are so experienced.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for
Yeah.
agreeing to do this.
It'll be fun.
Okay.
It'll be fun.